Hey guys, so welcome to the next interview in this series here. Now, just in case you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private community called High Ticket Client Attraction Inside the Circle, be sure to come join us right now. We've just went over 5,900 members. And if you're a coach, consultant, service provider who's serious about growing a successful business and scaling to that that seven figure level, be sure to come join our private community. We're on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Now, with that being said, I have a guest here today, um, Saju Khalsa. Hey, welcome, Saju. How you doing?
I'm excellent, Extus. Thank you so much for having me, and hello, everyone.
Awesome. So tell us, Saju, what is it that you do?
You know, I help people optimize their. I help people rapidly optimize their physical, mental, and emotional health, and at the same time accelerate or harness and accelerate their focus so that they could manifest what it is they're working on, what it is they're focusing on faster and easier and with less struggle and stress. Basically, that's what I do.
Hmm. Okay, perfect. So you said you help them optimize their, you said physical health. Is that right?
Yep.
Performance?
Physical, mental, and emotional.
Okay, physical, mental, emotional. Now, what's your process? How do you help someone do something like this?
Well, I mean, meditation is something that's kind of ubiquitous, whether you do it or not, but everyone kind of understands basically what it is and that potentially it's helpful, especially people that know how to meditate, know the benefits of it. And meditation is ultimately what we're doing with our focus, right? And so I taught yoga and meditation for 20 years. I explored meditation and human development and human potential for most of my adult life, almost 30 years. And even after researching it and teaching it for so many years, I've recently learned how to take meditation and really kind of not only 10x it, 100x it, maybe like even 1,000 times more powerful than what typically people are being taught and what they do. I've understood and uh, I've understood and revealed and discovered how to do that in myself. And then that's what I'm doing with my clients. Basically, it's like taking what the effort that you would do for meditation or even visualization or even focus and running that through the power of your heart, not metaphorically, but literally. And so because the heart is 5,000 times stronger than the brain electromagnetically. It's the strongest organ in the body. A lot of people assume, and through even Western science, have kind of believed that everything's all happening in our head and that our brain is like the supreme organ. It's not really. The brain actually listens to the heart more than the heart listens to the brain. And
Hmm.
so that's what I've recently discovered in my life in the past few years, and I've really zeroed in on that myself, and I've seen more growth in myself in the past 3 years than the previous like 15 to 20 before that, and it's happening for all my clients and people that take my courses very, very rapidly and very powerfully. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm up to.
Yeah, perfect. So you said in terms of meditation, yoga, you've been doing that type of stuff for 20 years, right?
At least 20, teaching it for 20, studying
Uh-huh.
it longer.
Yeah, yeah. What got you interested in that those fields?
You know, it wasn't that I wanted to be enlightened. Well, in a way, it was that. Really, what compelled me to start studying myself and going into a spiritual or meditative kind of path was that I had a lot of emotional issues. I could not follow through with my goals. I was selling myself short, playing it small. I had low self-esteem. I couldn't stay focused on anything, and it bothered me. And I wanted to get to the bottom of that and clear that out. And so I leaned into yoga and self-help and meditation and all of that those years ago, and started to unravel those limitations. And so that's what I applied my life to, is really helping other people do the same. And kind of, yeah, like I said, like in the past few years, I feel I've kind of found a path and a technique to be able to take those things that anybody could do, anybody can apply their focus and take it and really multiply it very rapidly and very fast.
Hmm. Okay, perfect. Now, with your technique, what type of individuals does it help? Who do you find it works the best for, or who do you find would need this technique?
I find it works best for people that apply it.
Hmm.
I can tell you because I have clients that that I work with one on one, and they map out their life and they map out their goals, and we push and they challenge themselves and all of that, and they grow. But the clients that do what I'm talking about, they grow much faster, much deeper, much more powerfully. So anybody that really desires, and not only desires, but makes a commitment to focus and follow through, whether it's in their career, whether it's their spiritual path, whether it's being a parent or in relationships, if they decide and choose to focus in that way and follow through, this is perfect for that person. And
Hmm.
anybody that wants to be able to become more emotionally balanced or more emotionally intelligent, be able to kind of weed out the distractions and be able to focus on their goals and manifest those goals. Anybody that has that desire, definitely, what I can share with them will definitely help them.
Hmm. And how does the process work then? So is it that someone comes to you, they have maybe a challenge, or maybe they have some goals or something, or they have some maybe a limiting belief? How does your process work? Where does it start for an individual?
Well, I do a lot of stuff by invitation or in referral, because I'm a focus coach. That's what I do. That's my profession. I kind of was health coaching and focus coaching for much of my career, even when I was really heavily more in the meditation instructor sort of field. I
Right.
was doing coaching just because, once you start developing your focus, you can apply it anywhere. So my work in the later couple of years here has gone more primarily into one-on-one coaching, but I also do groups, and a lot of it's by referral, or I invite someone to kind of that is having these kind of challenges or that desire to refine their life, and I'll invite them for a conversation, and if it progresses, then we can move together. That's great. And I also have a Facebook group, where we do what we're talking about, like a basic entry level to the meditation technique and the focus technique that we're talking about.
Hmm.
It's I do it live in my Focused You Facebook group, and I give kind of tips there, general tips of how to apply this in a general way. And people are having, even from the free Facebook group that I have and those kind of the live streams that I do and those group live meditations, people are having really, really dramatic changes in their life and in their focus just from that. So that's kind of the entryway. People can come through my free group, and experience it that way. They can find me one-on-one. And I think you asked about how people can do that. I also do a one-on-one focus empowerment with people that really have that desire. It could be a one-off thing where we spend 90 minutes and really laser focus in on your life and where you want to go, and maybe what your challenges are. And I teach you personally, not the basic level of what I'm talking about. I teach you the basic level and a more advanced level that you can apply directly to your life forever, and apply it to overcoming the stuff that challenges you, and apply it to accelerating what you really want to manifest. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Okay. Now, next question becomes in terms of so with your process, is it highly based on meditation? Like, how does it look if someone were to go into the process? Is it like visualization? Is it close your eyes, sitting still? What does that typically look like?
Right. That's a good question, Extus. Thank you for asking that. So, meditation, in my definition of it, is focusing without distraction.
Hmm.
Okay. And so, I'm sure that you know that you're a successful gentleman. You apply focus and you follow through. If you did not focus on what you want and you did not follow through, you would not be who you are.
Right.
And so anyone that wants to be a better parent, wants to just feel better in themselves and health wise, it requires a desire first, and then it requires follow through. And so my definition of meditation is ultimately that, focusing and following through. And so there is the kind of very formal sit down, close your eyes, regulate your breathing, and all of that stuff. But it's even more practical and simple than that. you know, the way that I approach it and how I help people work with it is that we get really, really clear with what their focus is, what their desires are. And then we work on how to use that focus into a very simple focus of just basically coming into your body, you know, and channeling that focus in through your creative imagination in a way that kind of is disarming to a lot of people. They can't believe how simple it is and how easy it is and how it's really very highly tailored to them. I have people that have been meditating for years, and they say that just from doing what we're talking about for a couple of days, they're more centered, more grounded, more focused, and more clear than they have been in a year from meditating the way that they have been. And
Hmm.
so it's very super practical, and it's very tangible and very down to earth. And I do that one-on-one, but then once somebody learns how to do it, they can do it, and it doesn't take longer than 15 minutes a day.
Yeah, powerful. Because I know that's definitely what you said is true as far as with focus and follow through. I know in today's day and age, it's one of the places where there's already so much distraction, so much information, so much coming at us that it's very hard to keep our focus on one thing without being distracted. And I even believe that too, that in terms of just in today's society, as far as I know, we're all just like attracted to the negative stuff. Like negative just catches your attention. So in
Yes.
terms of figuring out a goal, setting some outcome or something that you want to do, and being able to really, again, number one, focus, and number two, avoiding all the negative and just staying focused on what you want is a very difficult thing. And anyone who can master that can definitely create some massive leverage and massive success in their lives. So, and you've kind of built a business around doing this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is
Yep, it's
very
my it's
interesting.
my it's my life's work. I love it. I adore it.
Uh-huh.
And because I walk my talk,
Hmm.
I'm just so grateful with my life. I'm super inspired when I wake up in the morning. I'm super grateful and inspired when I go to bed, and every day is better than the one before it.
Right,
And
right.
I help my clients have that reality also.
Yeah. So in terms of I guess what are your thoughts? Because I mean, in today's day and age, just like with the internet and being able to do things virtually and stuff like that, you've started your business and you're successful and you're running it, helping people with that these types of issues. Was that something you kind of planned for yourself? Did you like when you were younger, were you like, okay, this is the exact path I'm gonna go down, or was it something that just you just discovered?
I didn't plan it, no way. When I was younger, my life was a real mess. I was all over the place. I was just basically following my nose, you know, following shiny objects wherever they would take me. And I had a lot of dumb and really bad habits that were very dangerous for me and other people in my life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then when I dedicated myself to get focused and follow through with being more healthy, let's say, that took me on a path, and it carried me for years. And I was inspired by the people that had that going on in their life. You know, they were leaders in communities. You know, I have mentors that are very high level spiritual masters or spiritual influential spiritual people on the planet, and they were mentors of mine. And so that's what inspired me, and I was kind of following that path. And more recently, I actually kind of evolved from that because I really wanted to help more everyday people. I don't even really like to kind of stand behind the word spiritual too much, because I think even that can be sort of, it can get convoluted and a little bit gray and too abstract. And so I wanted to step in more of like a, not necessarily a professional realm, but definitely a down to earth realm. And and that's been my path for the past couple of years. And I do feel very strongly about developing a business or a career that you can empower yourself and create financial freedom, and yet also serve your heart and serve others and impact the world in a way that's truly meaningful to you. And so I've made a business out of doing that and living that model for myself. And yeah, it's, I didn't plan it. It happened because I made a commitment to live up to my own potential. That was my own agreement with myself. And so that's been my number one kind of core value. And that because of that, it always delivers what my next step is going to be. So I don't, I'm not ever that concerned or doubtful about what's going to happen or am I going to make it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
that's
Yes.
good. That's good. And how do you consider yourself a coach? How do you define what it is that how you help? What's your how do you define?
Uh, I want to say that I'm a supporter and an inspirer. Okay, so I really love to support people and hold space with them and get out of the way so that our creative intelligence combined really can work through them in the best way that serves them. So sure, I'm a coach. I mean, that's a professional hat that I'm happy to wear. And at the same time, if it just means that I'm a support system and I'm a nice clear reflection or sounding board for someone that's going to be able to get their focus, find their focus, and find that inspiration and that empowerment within themselves to follow through, whatever you want to call me, I'm stepping into that. And so that's the role that I want to play with people. So sure, I'm a coach, but I'm just there to support people with what they need to have and who to have what they want in life and be who they want to be.
Yeah, good. Now, what about your vision? Is there a vision that you have for the way you see your business, what you're doing, impacting the world? What's that vision for you?
I can share with you what my vision is because I'm a firm believer in like having mission, and that's something that I help people do as well. Like there's a technique that we're talking about, but then what do you do with it? you know and
Hmm.
so when someone has a clear purpose or a clear vision or a clear mission, and it may be huge, it may be massive, or it may be just they want to be the best parent, and once they have that vision, the technique and what I'm talking about helps them crystallize that and manifest that and make it practical and tangible in their everyday life. That's one thing, but I also help people kind of uncover their purpose in life and what their mission is, because my mission in life is to bring the world to global peace in my lifetime by inspiring humanity to know the power of our heart, connect more with nature, and listen to our elders. And
Hmm.
so my
There's a
career
bug
path,
flying around in here. Do you see this?
is there a fly in there?
Yeah, I think there's some type of bug. Okay, go ahead.
So my career path is kind of like it's part of a bigger mission. You could say
Hmm.
like really ultimately my mission is to help humanity know the power of our heart, because it's relatively, the neuroscience of this is relatively new.
Right.
um, you know uh, Western science definitely assumed that the brain was the powerhouse and had a brain hack and all of that. I'm talking about how the ultimate biohack is really happening in your heart. um, and so that's my mission basically in life, is I'm driven by that mission, is to empower as many people as possible to know the simple and profound power of being able to focus in your heart, not
Beautiful.
metaphorically, not in an abstract way, but very tangible neuroscience, quantified, verified, medically sound, practically sound, real, live, simple thing to do.
Yeah, that is so brilliant. That is so brilliant. And that's one thing I truly believe, especially with what we do, because I believe that in terms of how you're able to help the world, most people before the age of the internet, before knowing that you could actually help people with advice, it was based on just doing physical work, going to offices, doing different things, and actually working kind of like physically. But I believe that today we've kind of making a shift to where it's more based on a lot of people are coming to the awareness that it's not just about the external, there's an internal world. And there's a way that if you take care of yourself internally and you focus on yourself, what's going on internally with you, that could basically change not just yourself, but the world, the outside world. That's really where the changes from the outside starts. It starts from within. And individuals like yourself who've like basically said, okay, you know what, I'm going to turn this, I'm going to go out to the world and build a business around helping others do that. That is so powerful because I know that most individuals, they're doing maybe a 9 to 5, a job that they really don't like, they don't love, and they have a way that they could help. They have a vision that they could see of the way the world could be a better place. But for whatever reason, they never take that first step and get started with the business. And it seems like you did it. You had the courage to do it. I guess for you, because I consider you an entrepreneur as far as going down the route that you've done, which is you've said, okay, I'm going to build a business around this, and then now let me go out and help the world this way. So would you say you've always been an entrepreneur? Is that something you've
I've
always
always been, kind of fascinated by autonomy. Definitely, it's one of my core values. Is autonomy. So I really value being able to be in my creative power. I've been that way most of my life. Yeah, it's kind of in my blood. So
been?
sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, if someone wanted to find out more about you, your work, what is the best way? I know you mentioned your Facebook groups and stuff. What's the best way for them to be able to reach out?
My website is sadhuserves.com, and there I've got some audio cast there about kind of like not necessarily about the technique I'm talking about, but those kind of like 6 keys of having more fulfillment and more success in your life. There's free audio casts on my website, and on my website also there's some windows where you can reach out to me directly, and you can follow through with the personal one-on-one focus empowerment with me directly with you. And so that's on my website, and then there's access to my Facebook group on my website as well, and that's sadhuserves.com.
Hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Saju. I really, really appreciate it. And guys, everything he mentioned here, all the links, if you're watching this on the replay, they will be right below this video. So be sure if what he says, what Saju said here with you resonates, be sure to reach out and connect with him. Awesome, Saju. Well, hey, appreciate you so much for making the time to be here today. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up for the day?
My gratitude to you, Extus. Like you pointed out, like that the way that we can connect like this in the world, and do things that are really meaningful. I know that this is something that's very meaningful to you. That's why I responded to your initial invitation, and I'm really grateful to be able to have this opportunity to connect with someone like yourself, to be able to feel this in the moment that we're sharing right now, and that your intentions and my intentions are to be of service and to impact people in a positive and constructive way. And I'm just very, very grateful for that. And I'm grateful that if any of what we're talking about has inspired any of you, I'm just grateful to serve that.
Love it, love it. Well, thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for being here, Saju. And we will be in touch, okay?
Excellent. Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Enjoy.
Alexis. Have a great day.
You too.